Okay. Come on in, folks. Come on in. We're going live.
We are live, Bob.
Oh, we're going live and we are live. Hopefully we're live on Facebook. We've had some problems. If you're watching on there, kind of give us an indicator whether or not you can see us or not, because somebody's giving us a thumb up. All right, fantastic. All right, good.
They're on our side, Bob.
All right, hi folks. I'm Bob Schrupp, physical therapist.
Brad Heineck, physical therapist.
We are the most famous physical therapists on the internet.
In our opinion, of course. Bob.
Brad, today we're going to talk about 12. Actually, I don't have the title in front of me.
Well, Bob,
12 stretch band, or what are we doing?
resistance bands exercises to be done at home or while traveling.
Okay, wonderful. So 12 exercises that you can do whether you're on a vacation or whether or not you're at home. And we're going to show you different ways to do them.
All right, you may be at home, you may not have a membership to a gym, or you don't want to buy all kinds of expensive equipment. You really don't need to. These exercises will get you in shape.
Wonderful. Okay, Brad, in case you are new to our channel, by the way, please take a second to subscribe to us. We provide videos on how to stay healthy, fit, pain-free. We upload every day. Also, this week alone, we are begging people to like us on Facebook. Yeah. So if you haven't already, go over to that Facebook and like us, because Brad and I need to be liked.
Slap the like button or touch it.
All right, we're going to run this just like we run every live event. We're going to go ahead and do the exercises. We got 12 of them. And then after we're done, you go ahead and you can send some questions our way, and we'll answer them to the best of our knowledge, which is not much. All right, Brad, what are we starting with?
We're going to start with, now the way we're going to work this is I'm going to do the exercise with a band, with just the band only. Bob is going to do the exercise if you have the anchor to the wall.
The wall anchor, yeah.
Which is a very nice thing to have for bands, and you'll understand as we go on the advantages of that. So first thing is bicep curls. Now, we're going to do about 10 of these, right, Bob?
Right.
Yeah, so we don't get wore out.
Now, there's a lot of different ways you can do it when you got the wall anchor here. You can also go to the side here. This is actually how I do them at home. And then I can even double up like this. And go like this. And you can also go, I can go to my back against the wall.
Sure.
Double or single.
Good. Okay. Now, I'm just standing on the band here, and I got one in each hand. You can double it up as well this way. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in a squat position, and I'm going to take my right hand and go up to the left corner.
Oh, I thought we were doing squats first.
Well, this is the. Oh, I'm sorry, Bob. I didn't even read my mind.
We're doing squats. All right, so
just
put your hands up by the shoulders. I have it on the lower anchor here, and we're going to go ahead and do some squats.
There we go. In this case, I'm just standing, if you can see the band, standing on the band over the top of the shoulders.
Now, you want a real good straight back while you're doing this. You don't want to be rounded out like that, right? You're bending the legs. You're trying to feel it in the glutes and in the hamstrings. That's where the strength should be coming.
Now we're going to go into the crossover.
Now the crossover, yeah.
So get a little bit wider with your feet. And I'm going to take my right hand and punch over to the left corner. And if you want to get your legs to work in there as well, so you get a whole body workout, bend the knees, punch up.
The double benefit of this is it's like self-defense.
Yeah.
You learn, like, someone comes upon you and you're going to give them the little uppercut there.
Yep, right up to the old chin.
Give them a little chin music. Isn't that what they call it, Brad?
Well, I never heard of that, but you can call it that. I like that. All right, now, this one, which... if you're going to do this here, I want you to put one hand so you can bend over and not hurt your back.
And I'm going to the upper anchor to do this.
And this is the best way I can figure out to do triceps.
And I'm just going down like this and working my triceps this way.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you agree?
Yeah, no, I like that, Bob. I actually...
and I can also go over here like this and do it like Brad. I can go ahead and pull like this. Grab onto a countertop and go ahead and work it.
Sure. That works good at the higher ones, so you don't have to bend over so far.
There's a lot of variations you can do. Yes. You can also go like this and just work down like this. Not a way to do your triceps.
Yeah, the wall anchor does offer more options.
But when you're on vacation, it's nice that you just have one little band and you can go ahead and get a workout in.
Right.
It fits in your suitcase, fits in your carry-on.
This is a good one for balance also, Bob. You might want to take a little time to get set up for
Oh, sure. I'm on the leg now.
Yeah. So here I'm just going to work. Now I'm going to put one hand over here for a little balance. If you got good balance, you can put one in each hand. But everyone's got a little bit different ability.
So I'm hooked up to the lower one, and I got a cuff. And if you get one of these sets that has all the different sizes on it, they always come with a cuff one too.
Right. Yeah.
And so I can just lean against the wall and I can go like this. But the advantage that I have is that with this now, I can actually go in every direction.
So
I can work on extension.
Right. This way, I'm stuck with working hip abductor, which is a good, important exercise, but the other one gives you all 4 directions to get a complete hip workout.
Yeah, but I can go forward like this too. This works on my balance also. So again, advantage the wall anchor, but the thing is, this will also do the job.
Sure.
So
not quite as complete, but it's good.
where are we now, Brad?
We're going to do the lunges.
Oh yeah, I'm going to show you how I do my lunges, just because.
You want this out of the way, Bob?
No, this is fine.
Okay. So let me show mine.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
sure.
going to come up to the shoulders, and this is going to work my front leg, my left leg, lunge down and up. And of course, you could do these without, like this, if that was enough. More resistance, the band is going to definitely offer.
You want to back up a little more, Brad,
Yeah.
go down a little more because your knee is going
Oh,
over
I'm
your
sorry.
foot.
Right, I was going like this,
Yeah,
and I want to
go
actually
down like
yeah.
that. There you go.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah, as therapists, we need a little guidance sometimes too.
Sometimes we forget
So
ourselves.
these are kind of a reverse lunge I like to do, and I'm working on my posture while I'm doing these. And these kind of give me a little bit of balance too, Brad,
Sure.
as the band does, but yet I'm getting a workout on 2 areas at the same time.
Yeah.
I love these. I do these all the time. I do 50 of them, Brad.
Do you?
Well, I do 50 of these.
Okay.
I don't know how many squats
So
I
you
actually
count
do.
these and do the squats.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
coordination.
That is
I
coordination.
don't know if I can do that. Okay. What's the next one? Oh, yeah.
Horizontal abduction.
So this is just with the arm. You can do this with seated or standing. And we're just going to do this. Now, the thing on this is, as a therapist, you're thinking, squeeze the shoulder blades behind your back.
I'm going to use the upper one, and I'm just going to go ahead and go back like this. And if it's a little bit too hard for me, I just stand a little closer.
Now
See how
Bob
that's
could
working?
actually do that on the lower one, all 3 levels,
Yeah.
actually, if you wanted to.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Works different fibers in the back, which is helpful for posture.
Or I can go back like this with the bent arm.
Sure.
But either way.
Which actually leads us into our next exercise, Bob. We got people on Facebook out there? Oh, good. Okay. So
Hi, everybody on Facebook.
We're clear there.
Yeah,
And you might want to stop and loosen up a little bit.
sure.
I'm starting to cramp up, Bob.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so here we go. Hands like this. I usually do this with some thumbs up. Okay.
So I'm just going to go one at a time
Yeah,
on this
and we
one.
can just do, this is a very excellent exercise for the rotator cuff.
Yeah, this is probably the go-to exercise for your shoulder problems.
Right,
So this is what you want to, bring out of your toolbox.
right. Don't do this. People kind of do it wrong, or they get their elbow to come out. We want to keep the elbow glued in,
The thing is, these are small muscles, Brad,
right?
and it's amazing how fatigued my muscle has gotten just from this little band.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so it's got small muscles with a long arm, so you don't want to overdo these. These aren't ones that you're going to use a real heavy weight on.
right.
So I can actually do the other one
Sure.
too, showing my best side, right, Brad?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Bob. Everyone's excited now.
Yeah.
One thing, if you're just doing them like this, is whether you have the anchor on the wall or you're doing it without, it's nice to have probably 2 different resistance, because this is pretty strong for me to do this, but on the other ones, so I would probably have 2 different colors.
I'll show you to have a lighter band,
Right,
because usually the colors correlate with how difficult they are.
right, with the resistance.
Correspond or
You got-
correlate.
Okay, so where were we,
We're doing
Bob?
behind the head triceps.
Oh, yeah. So this is another way to get triceps. And you can see the band is too long. I could double this up.
This is where these work out good for this.
Yeah, I'm going to try it like this. And yeah, that works out pretty good. So I got 2 handles in one hand. Then I just looped it around my other hand, and I'm working those triceps. And the nice thing about doing it like I'm doing it is it forces you to have good posture. Otherwise, the band pushes your head forward. So that's nice.
Now you can just go like this and do
Yeah.
this, right, Brad?
Sure, we could go like this. That's a good idea, too.
So, and again, with the wall anchor makes it real easy to do it in any direction actually. So,
because you're anchored in.
all right, we're getting on the floor now, right, Brad?
Yeah, I always like to do two at once because I'm thinking it's more efficient, but you can certainly do one at a time.
Sure. Now these are kind of different exercises that we're doing. Brad's doing one where he hooks it in his legs.
So I'm going to take the handle and actually use it for instead of a handle, a foothold. And I'll go over the other foot.
And I'm doing a core workout. Why don't you show yours first, Brad?
Okay. So I've got one handle on each foot, and I'm going to pull up this way, and I'm just going to simply do the running motion.
So you're getting core and you're getting a little bit of leg exercise too.
Yeah. So my stomach is working. This is one that's kind of, with just a band, it's hard to find a real good exercise this way. It works a little bit better, I think, with what you got.
Well, you get the squats. Well, this one is more core because you're actually working like this.
Yeah.
And if you get a decent size resistance on the band, this actually is a pretty good core workout.
Yeah.
Working legs and kind of the dead bug thing they call it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. And now from here, it's really nice if you're laying, you can just work flexion, shoulder flexion, some arm strengthening here. That's nice because you're already on the ground doing another exercise and it's efficient just to add one in. And we got some good resistance. You could go one arm at a time. For me, one arm, it's a little bit too much resistance. I need to do both. And Bob showed a nice option with what he has.
Yep, and you can again do both arms using the lower anchor. Okay, why don't you show the last one, Brad, the quadricep. We're doing chest strengthening, right? And I'll look at questions here.
So this one is a little more challenging with just the band. And we're just working like a push-up exercise. And we go like that where you wrap it around your back, make sure it doesn't slip up on your shoulders. And that just takes a little bit of practice. If you have the wall anchor, this is a pretty big advantage for this one because not only do you get shoulder strengthening, but your core gets a workout. It's actually very similar, or I like to say it's just about, or better than doing a plank. You're doing a vertical plank and a push-up at the same time. And here we can go both directions and get the back side as well as the front of the shoulders as well as the core and the trunk. What do we say, Bob?
Okay, we got some questions here, Brad. One is,
I need a break.
How do I choose which resistance band?
That's a good question.
It is a good question. If you buy one of the sets, it's nice because they come with 5 different resistance.
Right.
And they come with handles and they come with the cuff. So, but if you're going to go with like the Sank band, you just, again, the lighter colors are easier. The darker colors are harder. You're just going to have to, purchase one, see what it feels like to you.
And if you see the sets, that's why there's 4 or 5 different colors. It's not to make it look pretty, although it kind of does, but it tells you that you've got different resistance.
Some of them give numbers as to what the estimated resistance is.
Yeah,
I don't know how much accurate that is.
Don't. Yeah, if there's a standard to that, or they just put it on there, but there are there for some of the brands.
Someone mentioned, what can I do for tailbone pain? We have a whole video on that. One thing is you want to start taking the stress off the tailbone.
Sure.
So one thing we recommend, this is just a simple little trick. If you want to grab a chair, you take your pillow, you fold it in half, and you put it on the edge of the chair. And now when I'm like this, the tailbone is free. So there's no pressure on the tailbone.
Yep.
I realize this is not and also those cushions you can buy that are circular, they work really well. You can find them on Amazon. They look like a toilet seat cover.
Yeah, kind of like a donut, but they're oval.
But put in Bob and Brad and put tailbone pain, and you'll find we did a whole video on more of the treatment issue of it, and there are therapists that are kind of trained in that issue. So that'd be your best thing to go on that. We can't go over anything else on this. Someone mentioned lumbar radiculopathy too, Brad. So lumbar radiculopathy is pain going down your leg. It's usually from a herniated disc or a bulging disc.
Sure.
It could be, there could be pressure where the nerve comes out of the hole. But for that, generally, we're trying to do the McKenzie technique first. You might want to find a therapist who's trained in the McKenzie technique, but we're doing the, generally the exercise, the basic exercise for McKenzie is you're starting with press ups like this. So you put your hands underneath your shoulders and you're going back up like this. And this should help take the pain out of the leg. It might even put it into the back, but that's where your starting point. Again, I'm not doing it justice today on the live event because there's so much to know on how to do that. We just did a video on it actually today that we'll be putting up soon. But again, put Bob and Brad McKenzie, MC, big K, ENZIE technique or method, and you'll get some. We got lots of videos on it. So
hamstring. Someone's asking about how to strengthen the hamstrings. They went into some detail, but with the bands, I was just thinking how we can do that.
Well, there's one way I can see, Brad, right away. Actually, is actually you lay down on your back, and you go like this, and you put this across you like this, and then you lift up like this, and that's actually working the hamstring.
Yeah, particularly if you bring your foot farther.
Yeah, farther out.
The farther out you bring the foot, that's a good point, Bob.
It's actually starting almost to cramp on me. That it go out like this. So
right.
This is giving resistance
Sure.
across the pelvis.
Yep.
And do you have another way, Brad?
Well, the other thing that you could do was right here, depending on how we do this, and that's a real nice way to work those bands. You have to anchor to the wall, of course, but you ask and you shall receive.
Lonnie, you got any questions?
Yeah, can we do band exercises if we have disc herniation?
Okay, the question is, can we do band exercises if we have a disc herniation? I'd say as long as you can keep in good posture and it does not fire up your sciatica.
Right.
Yes. So like if Brad's doing curls, or just be careful when you bend down.
So I'm not going to do them like this. I'm going to keep nice and tall. As a matter of fact,
I'd probably do them that way. Yes.
It promotes. So there are some exercises that will be tolerated well. I certainly wouldn't do these. These you're going to want to stay away from if you've got a herniated or a disc problem. There's better ways to work the triceps, and that would be like this, right up against the wall, and you're really working the triceps well. So,
but you're keeping the back supported.
right.
Yeah.
So yes and no, there's some exercises that it should be very good for, and other ones you're going to have to stay away from.
Let pain be your guide on that one.
Right.
Another one question, Brad. Someone asked how long it takes a groin pull to heal. Now that depends. If it's muscle generally heals in 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Not to say you're going to have pain that long. That's to say how long before it's probably completely healed. If you tore some of the ligaments in there too, ligaments can take like a year to heal.
Sure.
So, one of the stretches I like for the groin pull is to just get your leg out like this, and you're stretching like this. So I'm stretching this side here, and I'm bending over like this.
Mm-hmm.
Just a good stretch and then we even have people doing it, doing it at different
angles.
Yeah, different angles. Oh no, it was more like this. I'm sorry. Yeah, out here, and then even turning the foot different ways and stretching it. But it's all different ways.
Yeah. The answer for how long, a lot of it depends on, do you irritate it doing activities maybe that you're not ready to do it, but you did it anyways, and you'll know when you irritate it, and that just slows it down a little bit.
Good warm up for before people who do such activities like soccer and stuff like that.
Sure.
Is like this. It's an active stretch for a groin pull. Yeah, I was doing this wrong, Brad. When I was out like this, it should have been like this, always out to the side, but sometimes it's out this way, this way, and this way.
Oh, just the rotation of the foot.
Rotation of the foot there.
Sure.
To get different muscles. So.
Okay, how to do press ups when you are recovering from rotator cuff surgery?
From what surgery?
Rotator cuff surgery.
Oh, rotator cuff surgery. How do you do press ups? It's a good one, Brad. You got that one?
That is a good one. That's always a problem in the clinic. I have people with shoulder problems, and I want them to do the.
I know they you could take Lonnie, can you grab the wedge, not the leg one, the one.
I know which one. Why don't you? I can't do press ups, Bob.
Oh, sure.
Why don't you show them what we're talking about?
So one thing what we can do is instead of doing a press up, we can actually go ahead and just put you in the press up position and see if that helps. Brad's grabbing it right now. And so if you get something like this, now I'm laying here and now I'm passively working on that area without putting any stress on my shoulder. If you have one good shoulder, then you can even just press up like this and not work on the bad shoulder.
And I know a lot of people don't have these laying around. You could substitute with a couple pillows and see how that works.
Sure.
It's one of those things you're going to have to work with, depending on how serious your shoulder's injured.
An interesting fact, by the way, is that's how the McKinsey program was discovered, is that he had a guy lay down, and back then it was considered wrong to lay like this.
Right.
He came in, the guy was laying like this on the plinth, on the table.
Right.
And
his leg pain was gone.
And his leg pain was gone. He actually got better. So kind of an old historical fact there.
What else we've got, Bob?
Well, this is one that I have, by the way. Bumblebee is asking about a Dupuytren's contracture. That's what this is right here. And I don't know if you can see that.
Very astute.
And I've lived with this. It doesn't give me any pain, so I'm like, I don't. But from everything I read, it's very difficult to stay ahead of it. I mean, if you think, when mine started, I tried to stretch it. It's almost impossible to stay with it.
How many years has that been an issue?
I've had this for, I bet you, almost 30 years.
Really?
Yep. It just got worse and worse. You can get like an injection. You can have the surgery, but it can come back.
Sure.
Even after you have it. It's real. It doesn't bother me in life. I can still golf, and so I just live with it. But it's a little discouraging because I don't think you can do anything from a therapy standpoint to stop it from happening.
Right.
It just once it starts going, it starts going.
Yeah. Could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
So I think the question is, if those band exercises, so can she do that with arthritis, or is it okay when she do that and there's a little pain?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, they can be real helpful for doing exercises with arthritis. You're probably going to use the lighter colored bands. The red one is a little weaker, and you can do things slower. With arthritis, you're going to just exercise a little slower, but you still want to get the range of motion. If you were going to do this exercise, you're going to do it slower. Work into that. If it's painful, you're going to work into a little bit, but not too severe pain, and just work accordingly. Listen to your body. So yeah, these could be a big advantage to exercises versus steel weights for arthritic people.
Brad, Julie Carson asked, how do you anchor the bands into the wall? So these do we have
anchors? Sure.
Yeah. You want to show that?
Yeah, that's a good question. And with the anchor, we have a video showing how to do it. We also have it complete in illustrated instructions, but this is what an anchor looks like. It's very tough material. It's not going to break. We've tested them extensively. And then there's 3 screws. You have to go into a wooden stud with these screws, and you must go into the stud. If you don't, you cannot use them.
Once it's on there, you don't have to worry that it's ever going to let go,
right?
Because that thing Brad and I can hang on it together.
And we have a video doing that as well.
Yeah.
If you look up our wall anchor playlist on the first couple of videos, all these questions, they're very good questions, are answered and shown how to do.
And Anna's asking, can she work with these bands every day? And I would say absolutely.
Sure.
And she was saying that, she was getting pain from push-ups, and she was told to go to the bands.
Oh, yeah.
I found, I was having pain from
curls.
Curls.
Yep.
And I went to the bands, and I don't have pain with those.
Sure.
It depends, if you're going to tone, you could certainly do these every day. Otherwise, you could split it up and do some exercises one day and then do other exercises on the other day.
Right.
That's how weightlifters do it. Like they might do chest and arms one day, and then they might do legs and back on another day. Or
matter of
squats.
fact, we should do a video on that.
We should do that. We'll have to break it up. That's a good idea, Brad.
Our viewers come up with the best ideas.
The other thing I want to mention too, by the way, I'd like to do an episode, a live event sometimes with people, and you tell us about products that have helped you.
Sure.
Would that be a good idea, Brad?
We'd get a
So
little
think about that
feedback.
next week if you can come on. Think about some of the products that have helped you in life, and then we can look into them and see if we should show other people.
Right. Assuming they're related to physical therapy.
Yeah, sure, that's right, exactly. Good point.
So where can they get those bands? That's the question.
We'll put a link below. It's already on YouTube.
And yeah,
The anchor is one, actually, if you go into our preferred page on Amazon, they got the anchors, and you got to buy the bands separately. But I don't have it on Facebook yet, but I will get it on Facebook within an hour or so. We'll put a link below.
Sure.
Where you can get them.
yeah. So the anchors are, it's the only place you can get them is through our site. Or OPTP. They're on Amazon.
Are there any resistance exercises for the neck, especially after having fusion?
We did a whole video on cervical stabilization.
Oh, that's right. Not too long ago.
Yeah, just not too long ago. So I would put in, Bob and Brad in the search bar above on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook, go to YouTube, put in Bob and Brad, and then put cervical stabilization.
Right.
And we did a whole video on
I think
that.
even neck strengthening.
Neck strengthening will
right.
probably come up.
But if you've had surgery, you need to get
Approved by your
surgeon and find out what you should and shouldn't do, because you don't want to do the things he says not to do, because you don't want to mess around with your neck. You want to make sure it's safe.
And that video does take it from beginner to advanced, but you definitely have to get that all approved by your doctor first.
Right.
We'll take one more if we got one more. Bonnie, anything or?
What's the best exercise for ankle, foot, plantar fascia pains?
Okay, for plantar fasciitis, I'm going to give you just one good stretch to do for
Sure.
it. Now, this is the go-to stretch that you want to do if you have plantar fasciitis. We have whole videos on this, but the one that I want to make sure you do, and you can do before you even get out of bed in the morning. And by the way, when you do get out of bed in the morning, make sure you put your shoes on before you hit the floor even. But all you're going to do, you're going to grab your toe, your big toe, and you're going to pull it back like this. I'm stretching that whole plantar fascia on the bottom of the foot.
Can you show them on a profile so it's a little easier to see, Bob?
How about like this? So I'm pulling like this.
I gotta stay away though, Bob. Just kidding.
We're gonna have people passing out here in just a minute.
So bad.
So all right, folks. Again, you wasted another perfectly good hour,
Yeah.
half hour.
We stole that.
We stole that from Click and Clack. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next week. Remember, in a week, if you can come up with products that have helped you, let us know next week.
Yeah, and you want to share with some other people, get them better.